is KCAA.
Thousands of people just like you get all the information they need on AM 1050 KCAA Radio.
Hello and welcome to Let's Go Shopping with Bev. This show brought to you by Starflight Entertainment. Music by Dr. Bombay and the Blue Machine Band. Song title, Living in Paradise. Now here's Bev.
Well, happy Friday to everybody and welcome to the show. And I hope you guys are trying to stay a little cool no matter where you are. One of the best things that you could do if you're near a supermarket, restaurant, anything like that, walk into the back freezer, stand there for a few minutes, you'll be chilled down, you'll be feeling good. Yes, and also in your car, with this type of weather, we keep on talking about it, check your fluids. Make sure that air conditioning is fluid upright, that your water pressure, everything else, make sure you have enough gas, because if something happens and you're stuck on the freeway, you don't want to run out of gas because it's going to be just too blooming hot for this, okay? Make sure that you have a little picnic basket in there with you, and make sure you have enough water. Not Coca-Cola, nothing like that. Water, and then you will not get dehydrated, and the people in your vehicle will be happy. Yes, they will. And if everybody's seen the post today, you can see we have a full house. This is our first of a long series of holiday shopping, and we're waiting for Bob Bishop from Exit Inland Realtor. He should be along any second. He's caught in traffic. And so what we're going to do is, Joey, hi Joey, our board app, how you doing?
Great, how you doing?
Good. Listen, I'll tell you what, let's switch over on our timing, and let's get Rich up right now while we're waiting for Bob.
All right,
okay?
Rich.
All right. So, hey Rich, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good. Now, what you going to be talking about?
Well, you know, this is summertime and it's vacation time.
Wait. What do you mean it's summertime?
In the summertime when all the trees and leaves are brown. Yes, it is. And so I thought I'd tell people about some of my favorite places to go.
So for the last vacations, the last hurrah, these are the best tips of the tips?
I think so.
Okay.
I like these places. So let's get started. Here's some of my favorites. Sacramento, the capital of the state of California. You can go up there and you can see the California State Railroad Museum. It's one of America's largest railroad museums. All kinds of old trains and big engines. In fact, they have the biggest steam engine ever built, the 4884 Big Boy there. You look at that thing and you wonder, it's like a battleship.
Is that the engine where they were saying that the wheels are so big from top to bottom and from side to side that it's almost as big as a building?
It's a lot higher than a person, I'll tell you that much. Yes,
oh, okay.
They're big. And so that's my favorite place to go there, and that's in Old Sacramento. And there's a lot of shops and stores there to look at. And they also have train rides that they have right there that you can go down the river a little ways and back. They do all kinds of things like that. And you can also book a longer ride, 2-3 hours, but I would do that in advance on a little longer train ride that they have. I haven't taken that one, but I know it's available. You can go on Sacramento on the web, look at Old Sac, things to do, places to stay. And I like that area. I like what's to do there. You can see a recreation of Old Sutter's Fort. You can, of course, go on Old Sac, the waterfront, and the historic area. You can also see the state capitol and watch the politicians work or not work. Of course, if you go in August, they're probably on vacation.
Well, they're always on vacation.
I was going to say that, but I thought you would right away.
no matter where you go, what state, yes.
Yes. So anyway, I like Old Sacramento because I like it right there, and there's some rides and little boats or this or that or whatever on the river. You can figure that out if you go on the web and check it out. Now, another place is one of your favorites, San Francisco.
Oh, that is truly, that and Savannah are my two favorite places besides back home.
Uh-huh.
And, that old song, I think it was the little short guy with the glasses, I left my heart in San Francisco.
You did?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Okay. At any rate, If you go there, of course, you're going to want to drive over the Golden Gate Bridge, and you can go into Sausalito, maybe eat at a restaurant, maybe stay there if you want to. If you don't want to stay in Sausalito, there's plenty of beautiful places in San Francisco. And if you go by Fisherman's Wharf, I found a little hotel there that's just like a block away, and the parking is upstairs on the roof of this place, and the car is so convenient. It's right there. Your room is right there. You walk a block to Fisherman's Wharf, another block to get the trolley cars, the cable cars, and of course you want to ride the cable cars. I think there's 3 or 4 routes. I've been on most of them. That is a lot of fun.
Well, that's one of the things that I love about San Francisco. And when we went, a bunch of us went up there a couple of times together, and it's absolutely amazing. And it's fantastic even for the children because of all the different things that they can see and do and feel and smell and touch.
Well, they just want to hang off. They just want to hang off those cable cars. That's what they want to do.
That's a fun part.
I know, but so. I said earlier you can ride over the Golden Gate Bridge, but you can also take a little boat trip and go under the Golden Gate Bridge. That is something else to see and go under that is what a trip. And of course you can go visit Alcatraz if you have prison on your mind.
Now that is an eerie place.
Yes, it is. And they have the ferry building marketplace, and they have some other stuff going on around Fisherman's Wharf. Last time I was there, they had a World War II freighter you could go on. You can go on a few other things like that and see a few things. So there's a lot to do right around that area. So San Francisco is a lot of fun. Now, if you're up that way, you can also think about going to Napa Valley or the Redwoods because it's not that far up 101. And you can visit Napa Valley, the wine country, stay in some different B&Bs, what have you, sample some wine. Again, look at the net, type in Napa Valley, places to stay, things to do. In any of these areas, places to stay and things to do. You'll get it all. And you can pick the ones you like. You can go on their websites, what have you. So if you're in San Francisco, of course, Napa and the Redwoods are pretty close. So
I don't recommend going in February.
No, February is bad up there.
The one and only time I've been there, February, my wife was pregnant. We're about to have our baby, and we went up there first time, and it was just... It was miserable. It was so cold.
Why
so cold, February? And then all the fog.
We wanted to do one more thing before the baby came, That was our thing. And then...
Okay. I got a trip to New York. You can go visit the sewers.
Oh.
One more thing.
We might have enjoyed that more. It was cold.
But at any rate, so that's San Francisco. And then, a little closer, if you don't want to go too far, Santa Barbara. And I like the area around the pier. And the Stearns Wharf has a favorite of mine, the Harbor Restaurant on it. Very good food, beautiful view. And if you want a little less money or a little down from that, you can go along Boards Beach Bar and Grill. It's just real near there. And it's also on Stearns Wharf. And there's also a few other things on there you can look around and do, and it's a beautiful view. When you're out on that wharf looking back towards Santa Barbara and the hills, it's like you're way out on the ocean and you're seeing everything from way out there. It's a beautiful view.
And one of the things about that view, too, is in the evening when the sun is setting, and and the colors of that water, it is breathtaking.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing I haven't tried and I haven't looked into, but you folks might do that, is I've seen people on wave runners out there. So they must be renting them somewhere. Then I don't think they're bringing all their own.
And then things are so much fun to do.
Yeah, I know all about that.
It's a trip in the ocean, too.
Oh, yeah.
I did that off of Hawaii, and that was...
Really?
In Hawaii, when you rent a wave runner, you can only go so far around an area because of all their state laws. So I rented one, and I found these waves breaking just off the beach. So I took the wave runner and used it like a surfboard. All of a sudden, the owner's coming out on his wave runner, racing toward me, screaming and yelling and saying, "You can't do that. You're going to break my wave runner." I said, well, it hasn't broke yet. But they stopped me from doing that. But you're very limited in Hawaii on a wave runner on how far you can go. But at any rate, while you're in Santa Barbara, on Sunday, of course, they have that art and flea market, and you can buy a lot of pookies and trinkets and thingies and all those little things, and that's kind of fun on a Sunday.
Yeah, we bought some gorgeous things from the guy that makes the wood
I buy
toys.
the little wooden trucks from the guy that makes the wooden
What's
trucks.
his face?
Yeah, good old what's his face.
Yeah.
It's been a while, so
Yeah.
I forgot his name now, believe it or not. Also, if you take the trolley ride uptown in Santa Barbara, you can have a lot of fun. You can see everything all the way up and back, and if you want to stop, you can get off and eat or have a drink, whatever. But I also recommend, and there's a lot of restaurants there, by the way, too. You can have all kinds of choices. And I recommend, why not stay at a B&B instead of just a hotel or a motel or something like that? There's so many nice B&Bs that are different. So maybe type in Santa Barbara B&Bs and see if something like
What's
that.
a B&B?
That's a bed and breakfast.
Ah.
And I'll tell you.
So that means they serve you breakfast in bed?
Yeah.
Probably
sometimes.
not.
And if everybody recognized voice, Bob Bishop from Exit Inland Realtor made it in. Yay!
Yeah, he's late, but he got here.
And he's here. And also with the bed and breakfast, me personally, I like the service. It's a whole lot better.
Sure.
You know?
What I like about Santa Barbara, though, is if you can't go that far, it's from the Inland Empire. You're going to take about 4 hours to do that. But, maybe you can go up on Friday and come back. I don't know. If I come back on Sunday, I come back late and there's no traffic. Because earlier, of course, everybody's coming back.
And here's the secret. Instead of coming back on Sunday, right, take an extra day.
Come back on Monday.
Come on Monday. Because everybody is coming in and you're going out.
Yes. So that's Santa Barbara, and that's just a closer area. Now I've got another choice. Monterey, Cannery Row. You've got the Monterey Aquarium on Cannery Row. You can't miss that if you go there. It's just absolutely a beautiful thing to visit. It's a number 3 place to visit in Monterey, according to the guides. You've got 17-mile drive along the golf courses out there. It's just so wonderful you don't want to leave. The ocean is a beautiful color of blue. You've got all the animals out there and the birds and the seals. And
sounds like Dr. Doolittle.
Oh, yes. Now, there is a small fee to drive the 17-mile drive, and I don't know what it is today. It used to be $5 or $10, but no big deal, for the whole car.
And let me bump in. That is per car. It doesn't matter how many people are in the car.
Right.
For that. And like Rich was saying, we did it a number of times. Take that extra time and do that drive. It is one thing that you will never, ever forget.
You will never. And it takes you by Pebble Beach Golf Course and Spyglass Hill, where the deer are standing out there looking at the golfers as they play.
Yeah.
Literally looking them in the eye and saying, "You're going to hit that ball or what?"
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's funny.
Now, when I'm up there, of course, you can play Pebble Beach, you can play Spyglass Hill if you have deep pockets. But the best value is Pacific Grove Golf Links. Check it out. Pacific Grove Golf Links. They start at about $26 and they go up instead of $500. So, and it's beautiful. It's on the water also. So I found that place. It's great. And my favorite place to stay now, the name keeps changing over the last 30 years, is the Portola Hotel. And that is toward the north end of that area. And there's a local farmer's market there, and it's on Fisherman's Wharf is right there, just a walk. They have shops inside. It's a beautiful, different-looking type place. It's not like driving up to a big hotel, and there you are, and you're going in the door. There's walking areas around it, and the wharf is there, and the water and the boats and everything else. So that's a place I like to stay when I'm there. And so if you're up in Monterey, remember, the aquarium, 17-mile drive, that best value Pacific Grove Golf Links, and stay at the Portola Hotel is one good choice. Now, let me get to something if you want to go a little further. One of my super, super duper favorite places is Gold Beach, Oregon. It's on the southern part of Oregon, what they call the Banana Belt. If you go to Gold Beach, type in Gold Beach on the net, you will find the Rogue River there, one of the last wild rivers in the United States. Mm-hmm. And I recommend Jerry's Rogue Jets, not any other one. Jerry's Rogue Jets, you can't miss it. It's an all-day trip up to Agnes all the way. They stop halfway for lunch. You see all kinds of wild animals, beautiful descriptions, and what have you. And that is a trip of a lifetime because those things really moved up and down that river. You've got some low spots on these banks of water they go over to where the rocks are hitting the bottom of the boat, and you're going, what? But anyway, it's great fun. If you take an RV, I recommend Indian Creek RV Resort. It is beautiful. It's just about a mile up the river on the south side. There's a fish hatchery near it you can go visit and see how they hatch the salmon. There's horseback riding next to it last time I was there. And type in Indian Creek RV Resort at Gold Beach, Oregon if you have an RV. And don't forget, everybody, you can take Amtrak all the way to Seattle, and you can get off anywhere you want. Santa Barbara, Ojai. You can get off for San Francisco. Not real close, but then up in Sacramento and all the way up. So you can take Amtrak or just take the ride to do that if you love the trains. And so, Bev, I say RV, car, train, plane, motorcycle, or as you say...
You can walk, you can ride a tricycle, you can...
with a little red wagon behind it to hold all your luggage.
You can use your skateboard. You know, there's 1,000 ways to get to where you want to get to.
Right.
Just think outside the box and enjoy. And I'll tell you, everything that Rich mentioned, I had the opportunity to be to them areas more than once, except I wasn't with you when you're on the river. At the jet. Yeah. And so, anyways, but besides that, I mean, fantastic shopping. Oh, the fashion. Oh, go to San Francisco. It will blow your socks off. Anything and everything that you can imagine. Prices are very reasonable. But do your homework first. Get on the computer. Get your game plan. You know, you can even get on a plane, and from here to San Francisco, you're there less than an hour. You bada bing, bada boom, and you're done.
By the way, Monterey, you can fly into the local airport on a small jet or plane.
Yes.
And also, Gold Beach, Oregon, they have a small airport you can fly into. Mm-hmm. It's not one of the big airliners. This is small things, but you can arrange for that. And that would be very interesting. Also, I didn't mention, by the way, Yosemite is another choice. And Lake Tahoe is another choice.
Oh, Lake Tahoe. Yeah. Don't even mention it. I could be talking for hours about Lake Tahoe.
The other places have lots of different things to do and see. Yosemite is a little bit more, here you are, here's the park. Lake Tahoe is the lake. You can go out on it, or you can gamble, which is not my favorite thing to do. Mm-hmm. I don't like to lose money. So I mention them, but I just mention them. But the others give you a lot of choices and a lot of things to do. So that's my thing for vacation
your last vacation
time.
Of the season. There you go. And you know what we want to do, maybe sometime in the middle of the winter, where people can get to where they're not snowed in or snowed out. Find a couple other places for us. What do you think?
Oh,
can you do that?
I have one more choice. Going to the river in early late spring or early late fall and rent a wave runner. The places are still open. The crowds aren't there, and go up and down the river. If you go to Laughlin, you go to cross the river and down a little bit, and there's different places that rent the wave runners.
Okay.
And that is another one of those. You will never forget it if you do it. And you can ride up and down in front of the casinos going, ha-ha, I'm on the boat.
Okay. Well, thanks, Rich. Hey, Bobby, hang on for a minute. Bobby is here from Exa Inland Realtor. And, Joey, who do we have?
We have Cliff from the Redlands Theater on line 11.
Good. And that little type of good music we have for this guy here? Could you play that, please?
Which guy?
For Cliff at Redlands Theater. The Bugs a Bunny thingy. Hey, Cliff, how you doing?
Good. A little hot, but, hey, par for the course.
Hey, you know what? It's really not that hot. Just think if you were a turkey and shoved in the oven, how hot it would be.
Well, it wouldn't be too much difference, I'm telling you right now.
Yes. She's always thinking of food.
And
yeah, no kidding.
Cliff, I know you're every time we talk to you on a Friday, it's crazy. So let's get right to it, hon. Please tell all of our listeners the good stuff that's coming up. I'm so excited about this.
what we've got coming up here, of course, we're into what is this, Friday, into the month of August here. We got Other Desert Cities, which is a play that we basically got off Broadway there, and we're premiering it in the Inland Empire. And it's about people who live in Palm Springs, of all places.
I love it.
And tomorrow night is a musical called Romance, another one which was just released off of Broadway, and we're premiering that in the Inland Empire. We keep doing stuff like that because we try to get the cutting edge and get things that nobody's seen around here, basically, unless you've gone to New York or places like that. And that's basically what's coming up on the weekend, and then we have the entire repertoire running from, August 5th all the way to the 23rd, so you can see all 5 plays. We just closed that nice piece called Through Wonderland, which we closed a couple of nights ago, and was met with good response from audiences, and the cast did a wonderful job with that.
I'm glad. And also that Romance is August 6th, 12th, and 22. The Underpants, that's the one that that one and Love and Loss and What I Wore, them are the two I'm getting excited about. And then the Underpants are August 7th, 15th, and 19th. 9 to 5, the musical. Remember Dolly Parton in 9 to 5? You know that one? Okay. That's August 8th, 13, 23. The
Underpants is written by Steve Martin, the comedian guy.
I know. Oh, he's a crack up.
Yeah, he's brilliant, too, by the way.
Every once in a while I wish I had a little bit of his sense of humor.
Just pick up a banjo.
Yeah, that's what I got to do.
That's the best start.
He plays in a band with a banjo. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That amazes me.
Yeah, isn't that something? A multi-talented guy played that banjo like nobody's business.
And he's very good.
He is.
Yeah.
And then the Other Desert Cities is August 9th, 14, and 20. And down on the corner, bump it up in the list, down on the corner. You got that song right. Okay, it's August 17th.
Right, that's a one-night deal. It's featuring the musicians and the talented people from the company. The company's made up of local professionals who do other things in their life besides on stage because they got to pay their mortgage. So they do other things and spend the rest of their time performing. And the professional quality, they really, really are very good.
Yeah, Cliff, what I don't like about life? There's only 2 things. Okay? Now I'm being nice. 2 things. One, that mortgage comes every month, and we're going,
That's right.
Yeah, and it comes in the form of a bill, and I keep on telling them, you know what? I don't have a bill in my family, so why are you sending it to me?
There you go.
Yeah. That and some of my outlaws. They were in-laws, now they're outlaws. If I could get rid of them 2 things, I'd be so happy.
Well, yeah, like I say, come on down, and we'll get you in, and you can spend the night outside under the stars, and the stars are out for the most part, and so are the clouds, and the humidity is up a little bit, but by the time the show starts, it's nice and cool, and you can enjoy the, wonderful scenery, especially if you look across the valley and see all the lights in the Inland Valley there. It's spectacular.
It is.
So if you haven't been there before, or people, your people listening to the program have never been there, take a trip out, and there's a free tram ride. You park right on the street, and there's a tram that takes you right up into the theater. And it's an intimate space. It holds about 400 seats. And people keep coming back for some reason. We've been doing it for 42 years, so we must be doing something right.
Hey, that's it. You know that old saying, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Leave it alone. You're doing fabulously. Mazel tov. Keep on doing it.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see.
Yeah, and then, Cliff, why are you talking about this? Why don't you bump out the address and exactly how one can get there?
Well, the easiest way to get there, of course, it's in Prospect Park in Redlands, and the best way to get, there are several ways to get there. If you come to Redlands, or if you're in Redlands, you just take Cajon, and you go straight up Cajon. You're going south, basically, and it takes you right to the corner of Highland and Cajon, and the park is right there, and it's not a park like a baseball park or anything like that. It's a botanical park with botanical trees, and you can't see really inside. You need to walk. You got to walk through, and it's quite beautiful up and through there. Or you can take the freeway. You take the 10, get off Ford, and turn left, if you will, down to Highland. Go to Highland and Cajon, and there you are again, right on the corner. There's a nice big sign telling you all about it, and it's pretty easy access, and then pretty easy to get out of there and get home.
Hey, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, so, like I said, it's not a difficult place to find once you get into town. Like I said, there's a big banner across downtown, promoting the festival, etc. So, and, we're happy people. We'd love to see people come and enjoy the theater. That's what it's all about.
And, folks, one thing I want to I keep on mentioning this, Cliff and I. Please, no animals. Leave your dogs, your cats, your orangutans, elephants, whatever. Leave them home with a babysitter. Do not bring them, please.
No, that's
don't
right.
do that.
We have an age limit thing if they're too
Unless
small,
you're blind.
Yeah.
Yes, if you're blind, that's a different thing. If it's a seeing eye dog,
Service dog, yeah.
Yeah. And then also, Cliff, what if one wants to bring a picnic basket?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, there's a nice big little lawn, right, adjacent to the seating area. A lot of people bring their picnic baskets and their little dinners and bring a little wine, and then a little wine, sit there, and then, of course, we'll let them know soon enough when to, wrap up and get to the seats, and then we, their picnic gear is secured, it's fine, it's pretty safe. We have nice security there, etc. So it's a lovely place to come, and if they forget to bring anything, there's a little concession stand where they can pick up some, nice cold drinks, etc. So it's a good way to start the evening out, and then by the time, he's ready to go home and get ready for the next day's work or sleep in or whatever you're going to do, you've enjoyed the evening.
It is, and it's so beautiful out there. And I cannot imagine somebody missing one of these through all these years. But if you did, this is a time to go.
That's right.
And you got all new lighting there from the company in Vegas, donated all of the lighting for you. So, that's all done up. The park is beautiful, easy to get there and get out of there. It's all set. And look at this entertainment you're going to be getting. And the tickets are...
the ticket prices?
Yes.
Well, there are various prices because, the season tickets, you can get, it was 7 shows, but now they're not. There's only 5 because we closed the show. You can buy season tickets or you can buy, single tickets at $20. And 5 year, like the youngsters can get for $16. And on Tuesday nights, you can have, it's $15. And then on a special night, you get one at the regular price and one at the half price.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then when you said on Tuesday there, 16 or 15. Now,
right.
That $15, is that all ages?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's a night. That's kind of an odd night on a Tuesday, after the weekend. So we kind of took that approach to get people out of the house and get up to the theater on an odd night. Most people like to go to the theater on the weekends because they don't have to go to work the next day, etc. But we just want people to come and have a nice, theatrical experience, and we try to get our standards are high, and we do the best possible we can with the talent. Like I said, they're all professional people who live close by. They live in San Bernardino, Redlands. Some live up in the mountains. Some live up in the high desert, and they all come. And like I say, they're professional performers who spend their time as real estate agents or lawyers or whatever. Like you say, they have to pay their mortgage, and unfortunately the theater won't help them do that.
Unfortunately. And the phone number for more information is 909-792-0562.
Correct. You've got it down.
Thank you. Again, that number is 909-792-0562. And, Cliff, what is the WWW?
That is www would be redlandstheaterfest.org.
Okay. One more time.
Redlandstheaterfestival.org. www.redlandstheaterfestival.org.
Okay, good. And now I'm going to...
you get all this information online, by the way, so it's quite, available.
Now, 2 big questions. Are you going to be performing in any one of these musicals or plays?
Me, myself?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, how come?
Well, I think my performing days are past, and my responsibility now, I've gone to another area. So I perform outside of the stage or away from the stage, but I am still responsible for everything that goes on the stage.
So you are performing.
I'm the Mr. Fix-It guy.
There you go.
I try not to, micromanage any of these things. So we have a great, creative staff that has developed some beautiful stuff. So we got, people, like I say, people work at Disney and they come here and do their stuff locally in town where they live. And in Hollywood, whatever. So we've got some pretty good talent. A lot of people might not understand that, thinking, well, maybe it's just a little, college thing or a community theater thing. It's a little different than that. We call ourselves a resident theater company because we deal with residents who live close by who become part of the company members.
And one thing that you and I both forgot, the musical Love, Loss, and What I Wore, that is August 5, 10, 16, and 21.
That's right.
Yes.
And that's a repeat from last summer because we have a demand. People say, well, I missed it, or I saw it, and I want to see it again. And it's a lovely piece written by Efron from her book. And it's basically for, I hate to say it, for women, but men love it too. So, it's a wonderful piece.
It is.
And again, nobody's done it around here. Again, we're the cutting edge kind of thing, like whoopee. So we premiered it in the Inland Empire, and shortly you'll see other people doing it, other companies and other theaters.
Well, I am so glad we had this time, and you know what? We only have a couple of more weeks. You want to come back next week?
Listen, I'll come back anytime you need me, kid. Anytime you're wedding and have time for us, we'll be there.
Okay, then you have a very good weekend. Say hello to everybody on the staff for me, and be safe, and I'll talk to you next week.
Okay, and, stay cool. That's the whole thing. We're going to be cool.
Yeah, go,
no matter what, we're cool. And I'm taking roles, so if people don't show up, you don't get a good grade.
Okay, Cliff. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon, hon.
Enjoy your program.
I
Bye-bye.
will. Bye-bye. And real quick, before we start with Bob Bishop from Exeter Inland Military and talking about the theater, the Junior University Musical Theater is on 1135 East Highland Avenue in San Bernardino, zip 92404, and they are putting on Snow White. And tonight and tomorrow is the last night of this musical. If you did not have an opportunity to go to bring your children, I highly, highly recommend bring the family. I've seen it. It will knock your socks off. And the tickets are $20 for a family of four. You can purchase the tickets at the door. If $10 for adults, $5 for children 12 and under. So it's easy to get a bunch of people to go together. And their www is junioruniversity.org. Phone number 909-889-0833. So take these last 2 days. Go. You will be super, super happy. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to be playing Cliff's Pest Control. Yeah. And then we'll get right into Bobby. Okay?
Hi, this is Cliff from Cliff's Pest Control. Have you had problems with pests lately? Cliff's Pest Control has been in business for over 40 years and is family owned and operated. We can take care of your general pest problems. That's the ants, spiders, all the crawling bugs. And we also can take care of your termite problems. You can reach us at 909-887-1862. That's 909-887-1862. That's Cliff's Pest Control, Inc., serving the Inland Empire for over 40 years.
And we're back. Yes, I took a small break. And talking about small breaks, if you just tuned in, you're listening to Let's Go Shopping with Bev right here on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind. And we are your local station, and we are the coolest of cool stations. Yes. And I'm glad everybody came back. We talked to Rich already about last-minute vacations. We talked to Cliff from the Redlands Theater. We talked about the Junior University. We talked to Joey, our board up. Now, guess whose turn it is?
Who is it?
The late guy.
The late guy, yes. We got Bob.
It's all Governor Brown's fault. All them freeways out there full of cars.
always blame the Republicans.
Wait a minute, he's trying to do high-speed rail the right way.
Yeah, right.
Not
now
down the middle of the freeway.
Now they want to do a toll road from Orange County to L.A.
Yes. Now, as everybody noticed on the post, I've been talking about this. This is the first show for shopping, our holiday shopping. And I talked to Bob, and it made sense. We're going for the big kahuna ticket items right now so you can get it all together before the holidays. So, Bob, tell us the happy, fun stuff about buying a house.
Well, there's a lot of good benefits to selling your house during the holidays, and
Why?
most people wouldn't think that way because they're like, I got stuff all over the house and everything. But actually, during that time is actually the best time because that's when you really have your house in its best condition. You get it all cleaned up, and then you put all the decorations up and everything, so that when your family and friends and everybody come over, then you're like baking cookies perhaps, and you have the smell of the Christmas tree, and so there's quite a number of reasons why. And also, people who look at your home over the holidays are serious buyers. Serious buyers have fewer homes to choose from over the holidays as most sellers take their homes off the market. So that means less competition for you and more money for you to a better chance of getting a better price. Since the supply of homes will drastically increase in January, there'll be less demand for your particular kind of home, and less demand means less money. Houses show better when they're decorated over the holidays, too. And buyers, but when a buyer buys a home, it's an emotional purchase. They walk in the house and they say, I like this house. It feels like a good house. And then they justify it with their logic. So that's why it's important that buyers are more emotional during the holidays and tend to spend more money, and so you may have a better chance of getting your price. Buyers also have more time to look over the holidays, and can also come during the weekdays on holidays, which many times in ordinary times they can't do. Some people too must buy before the end of the year for tax purposes. So those two, that's a major driving factor, and the other one is, as I mentioned, a lot of people like to buy their new home and have it ready by the holidays so they can show it off to their family and friends during the holidays too. So January is traditionally a month where employers have to move, so they can't wait until springtime. They have to buy now, so you're there to capture that market. And you can still be on the market, and you can have that option of delaying your close or restricting the showings during those 6 or 7 days if you want to celebrate the holidays. You can also sell for more money and provide a way for you to delay that closing and extend the occupancy until the next year. So you could sell it perhaps in November or December and then turn the keys over to the buyer in January or February.
Now,
but go ahead.
Let me break in for a minute. Now, if one wants to purchase a house, all right, right now, and it's one of the biggest purchases that anybody would ever do. It's not like buying a new car,
Right.
a pair of blue jeans. I mean, you cannot return the house once you got it, right?
Right. It's very difficult. Yeah.
It is very. It's hard to break
Even
it
if
down.
you have a receipt.
Yeah, break it down and put it back in the box and everything.
Yeah.
Now, when people are out there right now, because they have August, September, October, November, right? Like 4 months. What should they be looking for now where they can do that humongous purchase to get that house before the holidays start?
Well, first off, generally July and August are slower months and into September because a lot of people have to put in for their vacation at work at the beginning of the year, and they're locked into going in July or August when they've signed up for. Also, in our area, as some of you may know, it's kind of blazing hot, and that discourages a lot of people from wanting to come out during the hotter months and get in and out of their car to look at properties. So those two factors, generally we have a dip and a slowdown in July, August, and then into September. Now, towards the end of September and beginning October 1st, that's the beginning of our second busiest season in real estate. I call that the Easter of real estate. And so from like October 1st until December 31st is the second busiest time that we experience during the year because all the kids are back to school. People are focused on, hey, we're going to find a new house before the end of the year. And so that's why that's a busier time of the year than what you would ordinarily get into.
Now, when they start looking, once the children are back into school, vacations and everything else is all done, what should they do for their homework first?
Well, I mean, always the very, 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 very first thing that you need to do is you need to get in contact with a lender, whether you're going to use a bank that you bank with or whether you're going to go to a mortgage broker or a straight mortgage company, one of those three things. You need to go and find out exactly what you qualify for. You need to know how much you can afford before you go shopping. You need to know how much money you're going to have in your pocket because there's nothing worse than going out and looking at houses and finding the house of your dreams, and then you find out after that when you apply for your financing that you don't quite qualify for that.
Well, that's the same way as going out to dinner and realize you don't have enough on your credit card to pay the bill.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Right?
It doesn't hurt to check ahead of time to make sure that you can handle that. But that's probably the primary thing. The next thing would be to select a good agent that really wants to help you find the house of your dreams. I've run into a lot of times buyers nowadays that say, "Well, my agent isn't responsive." I tell them I want to see ranch-size homes, 1,500 square feet, and he's showing me two-story homes. So you really need to find somebody who's sincerely interested in helping you. We have a lot of great electronic technology now as an agent that helps both the buyer and the agent, because the buyer can tell the agent exactly what he's looking for, the amenities that he wants, bedrooms, baths, those kinds of things, and areas that he wants. They can plug that information into the multiple listing service, and they'll get sent emails as soon as one of those houses come on the market every minute of the day.
Okay, hang on for a minute. Joey, the line was flashing. Do we still have the line 3?
We lost him.
Okay. See if we can get him back.
I need a phone number.
Isn't his phone number there? He'll call back.
I'll call back.
He'll call back.
He's looking for a home.
Yes, that's it. No, that was Jesse from Jesse J.
No,
Collection.
I remember, yeah.
And he just purchased a new house down in L.A.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
For about $17 million, one of the cheap ones.
Jesse, if you are listening to us through the magic airwaves, call back. Call back. Let's see if he hears that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I wanted to ask you, talking about all of this, all right, so they do their homework. They find out what they're pre-qualified for.
Right.
They have the area and this and that. And it's a lot easier now because before, when you move somewhere, you had to keep your children in that certain school district. Now you don't have to do that. You can move the children in any district that they want.
Well, that's one factor, though, that I'd like to remind you about is if you find a house, you need to actually go to the school district and find out from them exactly what schools in the next year their kids are going to be going to, because many times school districts redraw their boundaries. And sometimes you can have a school across the street, but if that school is filled up, they may designate that your child has to go to a school in another area or even being taken by bus to another area. So if you want to make sure your kids are going to be able to get in the school that you want them to be in, that's something you have to check with the school district about, because many times even agents aren't up to date as to that and how current what the school district's plans are.
And then the other thing, too, now with January, fast approaching.
Yeah.
Now, is anything going to be changing in January, and the interest rate, the taxes, any of that? Should one...
I'll be 62 in January.
Oh, you're just a baby.
Baby.
If one wants to...
I know, I still have milk on my breath, I think.
Oh, okay. We'll talk to your mama about
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
If you want to purchase a house,
yeah,
right, and you're ready to do it right now,
okay,
should they do it right now? Or if they could hold back, would it be better to do it in the beginning of the new year because of all the tax laws that are changing?
Well, as the article mentioned that we were talking about a moment ago, I think it's better right now because it's a more downtime. There are not as much competition or as many offers for each property. Now, we've been experiencing in a lot of parts of the country, in Boston and Colorado and Northern California, bidding wars where there's large numbers of buyers that are all
all vying for the same property and bidding the price and the value of that property up. But that bidding war has not really hit Southern California yet. We just saw a boost in activity about 30, 40 days ago, and it's getting busier, and we're starting to get more showings, and some offers are floating in. I just had one in Apple Valley. I just got 2 offers on this week. So that may be a precursor to a bidding war that may be coming. So actually, you might have a better chance between now and the end of the year to be able to get something without so much competition.
So, Bob, if I wanted to buy a house in, you say, Boston or back there where they're having a bidding wars and commute to Riverside, I should buy the house now.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely, yes.
And buy your helicopter at the same time.
I was going to go there, yes.
Exactly. But that's a big factor. So I would say if you're looking, between now and the end of the year would not be a bad time to be looking. There shouldn't be so much competition. A lot of the investors have gotten out of the market now, so it's getting down to just regular run-of-the-mill buyers. And also, the financing seems to be taking longer because a lot of the new guidelines and laws that were put into effect to protect the public so we don't have to bail out all the big banks again. So because of that reason, it takes a little longer for the loan to be processed and approved and everything because there's more checks and balances than there used to be. So again, that's another reason why it's good to get yourself pre-qualified, pre-approved, and start looking. And once you get that offer in there, then most of the time you're looking at like 45 to 60 days with government financing, FHA, VA, conventional.
Okay,
now,
so if you buy the house in August, right?
Yeah.
You said about 60 days, right? You'll be in there by October.
Exactly.
That will still give you time to buy the turkey and the Christmas tree.
That's right, and get a new Halloween costume.
There you go.
Now, Bob, I have a question. There's 10,000 people a day retiring, so we're told. What should those people be looking for in a house? I know you hear a lot of them scaling down. They don't want the 2-story. They don't need the big house anymore, this and that. Where are some of them going? What would you recommend to them to be even thinking about to make a good decision?
Well, I mean, they're going to have to decide where, location-wise, that they like. Obviously, I think the majority of retiring folks would prefer to have a house that's a single-story house. They're reaching the point where they don't want to be running up and down with the steps, and what's downstairs needs to be upstairs, and what upstairs needs to be brought downstairs. So there's a huge demand and an increasing demand for single-story houses. Unfortunately, most builders build one single-story house to 2 or 3 2-story houses and housing tracts.
Well, are there tracts for these people that they should be looking at for
Well, they
areas?
have specific senior tracts, that are senior house that have a 55 and older age limit.
What do you think of those?
And they also have amenities, and there's a lot of them, like Leisure World and Del Webb. What's it called? Del Webb. Sun City.
Yeah.
There's various Sun Cities and things like that. And so those, it just depends on if you like the location and you like the amenities, because they usually have an association fee that, you pay for to participate in the amenities if they have a golf course or, exercise rooms or, a party room or, that kind of facility.
In the Inland Empire, though, if you didn't want to go to one of those communities, do you see good areas to look in, or you see people buying a lot of these houses, retirees, or something that you see going on that's a nice place to think about?
Well, first off, they're doing what's called downsizing. So generally they in fact, there's even agencies now that help folks with that downsizing and locating housing. But it's something, I wouldn't say that there's, other than the areas like Leisure World and Sun City that are specifically geared towards that. A lot of people like to be in a mixed neighborhood where some don't like to hear the kids out there playing in the street and running around and making noise, and some do. So again, it would vary depending on the individual person. And then they like to also be close to amenities, obviously the grocery store, the bank, maybe if they take public transportation or something like that, they'd want to be near a bus stop or something of that order.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Mm-hmm. You're in the business, you know the Inland Empire. Do you have some areas that you recommend to kind of look in?
Well, again, every community has areas like that I think would be suitable for senior if they wanted to move into housing like that. And then the other thing is there's a lot of apartment buildings now that are geared specifically to seniors, where they have subsidized housing, and they can move into those at a much less price than what they might have to pay to buy a house, too.
I think we all know somebody that their father lives in one of those, and they really like it. They've got everything there for them.
Right.
And they just close the door, and they're gone.
Yep.
They don't have to take care of anything, even if it's a one-story.
That's right. And even if they don't want to cook, some of them have a common dining room, and that way they get a chance to intermingle and socialize with their friends and things like that. But then if they want to go back and watch TV by themselves or something, they can go back to their room.
Yeah, that seems to be another choice.
Now, my father, he's 85. He just rented an apartment in an apartment building, and he's close to shopping. He can walk to a grocery store next door and, other amenities and stuff. But, it's different for each person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and Joe, I just seen a lights. Is that to him? No, to him. Okay. Yeah, trying to get Jesse back.
He forgot how to flash.
Yeah. And now, Bob, the other thing I wanted to ask you, rent now with as many houses or lack of houses on the market, if somebody really wants to get that big Hanukkah or Christmas gift, they better get out there pretty darn quick, huh?
Well, the more time that you have to look is better, because then you can compare properties, and because the other thing is not only the properties, is also checking out the area. Mm-hmm. One of the key things you want to do if you do find a house you're interested in is you want to visit it at different times during the week. You want to go on the weekend, you want to go on the evening, you want to go on weekdays, because neighborhoods sometimes change dramatically from day to day depending on the circumstances and the day of the week that it is. And that way you want to make sure that you're comfortable with the neighborhood and even in some cases the neighbors, because you don't want to buy into a neighborhood and then if you find a house you like, it doesn't hurt to talk to the neighbors and say, hey, how's the neighborhood, and are there any neighbors around here that you might want to tell me off the record that aren't the kind of neighbors that you might want to live next door to. And so a good amount of research will help. There's also websites where you can get neighborhood statistics, like crime statistics and things like that. Obviously, the what's the one with the sexual offenders?
Yes.
That would be one if you are concerned about a particular area and neighborhood. If you have children or grandchildren that might be visiting you, Megan's Law, they have a number of sites like that you can check and find out if there's folks around your area that you might want to be aware of before you move into that particular neighborhood. So there is a little bit of homework for home buyers, ahead of time to find out more about the neighbors, and then you can also do a home inspection on the house if you're interested in, to define the condition of the house, to find out ahead of time if there's going to be any major repairs or expenses or something like that you may want to negotiate having those items taken care of before you close the deal, or at least be aware of them for your own for your own purposes, that you may want to take care of them if it needs a roof or this or that later on after you buy the house.
And here's another good thing, too, when you're saying checking out the neighborhoods, right? Get in your vehicles or your bicycles, whatever you have. Drive to where the schools are. See how long it takes to the grocery store, the dry cleaners, and do
Map
your
it out,
homework.
yeah.
Yes, Joe.
Yes.
You were talking? Oh, you're talking to him.
Yeah, we're talking about 3 minutes to go.
I thought he was talking
behind
to me.
the scenes stuff. You're not supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Not supposed to talk about it.
Hey, I'm a mommy and a nana.
Cheeseburger, an order of fries.
Right.
It's like a baseball game.
I'm a mommy and a nanny. I can see on the corner of my eyes, and we got eyes in the back of our heads, and do that. And then also when they do the walkthrough. Mm-hmm. Right, and the realtor or the assistant of the realtor is doing the walkthrough. It'd be a good idea. They kind of measured the floor area. They have the different ideas where everything can be put.
Yeah, I have that. Even sometimes during the sale process, my client will call me up, hey, we need to get in the house and measure for a carpet or measure for this or that. So it's a good idea to find out ahead of time. But most people already have some ideas of what they're going to do with the house, and I'm more than happy to help them get in and do those measurements and that kind of thing. Or sometimes I have to let contractors in because contractors want to come and scope it out for them and give them bids and things like that. Yeah,
knock out walls with them, sledgehammers and stuff.
Yeah, demo they call that.
Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? One day we find this old wreck and we can go in there and knock everything down.
Well, slinging a 5-pound sledge is not much fun after the first 2 or 3 minutes.
Then we get the bulldozer and pop.
Yeah.
You know?
Depending on what you're doing, yeah.
Well, you know what? Joey is having a little nervous breakdown. He's giving me all these fingers. I know what he means. We're getting down to the end of it. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, and then we're going to keep on talking a little bit longer. Bob, thank you for coming.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Anytime, Bev.
And Exit Inland Realtor, and Bob, your phone number.
You can reach Exit Inland Realty, Bob Bishop, at 951-318-1952. 951-318-1952.
And go out and buy that Christmas present now. It's on sale for $19,95,000.
And
right?
don't forget that vacation. Take it. You need it.
And Rich doing the vacation thing, thank you. Joey, our board up, thank you. And Cliff at the Redlands Theater, thank you very much. Jesse, with the scheduling, he's doing a lot of filming on site. Hopefully we'll get him next week.
We got a rain check for him.
Yes.
Okay.
With an umbrella.
Bye-bye.
So be safe, be happy. See you next week, same time, same station. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Thank God above, you know you're setting me